Hello guys and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we'll be talking about the K-League. So as you can see, K-League is back on Sorare. So the 2024 cards have landed for the K-League. And to celebrate this, I'll be talking about the three best teams in my opinion to stack for the upcoming new Sorare competitions. Right. So I'm personally Korean, so like I personally know a decent bit about the K-League and I think these three teams will do really well. So for the first team is Ulsan Hyundai, right? This is like the most obvious team. They're always so good, but I think this year they might not do as good as they usually do, but will still be one of the more dominant teams in K League and SO5 wise. So before I get into this video, I just got to put a reminder. This is not financial advice, and I advise you to do your own research before buying into these players. So Ulsan Hyundai, they won K League last year, as I'll show you here. They came first, Pohang came second, Gwangju came third, Jeonbuk fourth, Daegu fifth, and Incheon sixth. So Ulsan, they're just an amazing team. They're very dominant, and I expect them to be dominant again this year. So for those wondering, let's say if you're gonna buy a Ulsan stack, who would you buy? Well, for starters, Choyonu I think is just an obvious choice. He's the starting keeper for Ulsan. And he also played in the international. He also plays internationally for Korea. So if that utility comes back, then he definitely has it. Then I'll probably go for two defenders of a defensive stack of Sol Young-woo and Kim Young-gon. So both of these guys are known top scorers. If I pull up these guys' scores here, um, Incheon keep a lot of clean sheets, and as you can see, these scores are amazing. This is all AA scores. If he gets a decisive on these scores, you know he's scoring amazing. This was against Pohang, which is another hard matchup, but he's still able to score amazing scores. He wins a lot of duels, he wins a lot of possession, and he's just a really solid player. Like even like outside of SFI, but like in real life, I really like the way So Young plays. And then Kim Young-gon again. Ooh, that's a leak. Kim Young-gon is also another really solid player. He gets the AA. He keeps a clean sheet. He's able to get those peak scores of 60, 70 to 70 points. And sometimes does get the decisive here and there, which can allow him to get the peak scores of 80s, high 80s, hundreds, and etc. etc. He is a bit old, but then So Young-woo is pretty young. In the midfield, I went for a new signing, Kim Minu. So this guy came from Suwon Blue Wings, who were horrible last year, but he was still able to rack up. No, never mind. He was playing in Chinese league, and he was able to rack. He's a decent scorer. He can get that AA. He can get those decisives. He hasn't started many games for Ulsan yet. He's been benched twice and started once, but I think he's a solid player, and his scoring SO5 wise are pretty consistent. You get it decisive, which I think he will. A lot of times playing in an attacking position for such a dominant team like Ulsan, he should be getting a lot of decisives, so which is great. And I think his scores will. I think we'll see more of these dark green and green scores rather than these yellow scores. And then up top, who else but Chumingyu, right? He is, I think, one of K League's best strikers out there right now, and he gets those goals. He's playing for a dominant Ulsan team. He will get those chances, and Chu Mingyu is a player that doesn't miss many chances. He will get a few shots. He might get an assist here and there, but yeah, get a solid player. So yeah, for my Ulsan stack, I would go for Cho Yeonu, So Young-woo, Kim Young-gon, Kim Min-woo, and Chu Mingyu. The next team is the team I stack currently, and that is Incheon United FC. So I am an Incheon fan, so there might be a bit bias there, but aside from that, I think they're a really solid team. So yeah, they did lose to Suwon FC. I was watching this game. The penalty was very soft. They conceded in the last minute of the game, which is really annoying as a Incheon fan, but it is what it is. And they were playing well, but they just did not make that many chances and did not take that many chances. So who would I stack here? I'd stack Lee Bum-soo, their keeper. He's a solid keeper. He's a new signing because their main keeper Kim Dong-hyun went to the army. Army's club, so he won't be playing for Incheon for the next 2 years. So Ibamsu I think is a guaranteed starter, but you never know in the K League, right? And then Kim Dong-min, he was a solid pickup. He was a solid player last year. He got benched, he got injured a bit, but when he played, he would hit those 89s with all AA sometimes, which is crazy, like a 54 AA, which is mental, and he consistently hits those 50, so he won't like kill your lineup. He's an amazing player, right? Like he puts his body on the line, and as a SO5, like SO5 outside of SO5, I respect him as a player. And then midfield, I'll go for Lee Myung-ju. No, I'll go for Impoku, but Lee Myung-ju is also a definite option. Impoku is just a good player. He used to play for the Tottenham youth team, so he's like a step above K League, I say, in my opinion. And he can rack up those 21 AA, and he's also able to get those decisive like assists and goals. A lot of the attacking threat comes from Mpoku, so I think he's a key player to have. And then I'll go for two forwards in Incheon, Mugosa and Jerso. So Mugosa came to Incheon in the second half of the season. So as you can see, when he played, he was playing well. He would score a lot of goals. He did like get benched a few times, but this was just because Incheon's games were really congested, and then he also did get injured. But he is back now, and I expect him to tear it apart in the K League this season. Next player is Jerso. He also when his link up with Hernandez and Muguso was amazing, and he would score amazing. You can see this great patch of runs he had. And then he did get injured, but he is now back to playing, and I hope and I can see the Mugusa Jerso link up gonna go crazy this year. So to wrap up, my stack would be Ibamsu, Kim Dong-min, Mpoku, Mugusa, and Jerso. Also there is a Yonik who is a new signing for Incheon. He's a center back, and I expect him to start playing soon. He was on the bench for the first game and did not play, but I think he will replace Kwon Hang-jin and Oh Ban-seok, who are both really old. Same with Delbridge. He is currently injured, so just look into that. But Delbridge is also a very solid scorer. And last but not least, Jeonbuk Hyundai. Jeonbuk Hyundai, I think they're gonna tear it apart this year. I can honestly see them beating Ulsan and winning the K League this year. And they're also in the AFC Champions League, like Ulsan. So that is also another additional utility you could get. So for Jeonbuk, I think Kim Jong Hyun, Kim Jong Hoon, he's a keeper. He's the keeper for Jeonbuk. I'm pretty sure he is the starting keeper, and he will continue to be the starting keeper. And then Kim Ji-soo in the as your defender, he is a solid scorer. He can get those AA scores, and then he can also has the capability of decisives. As you can see, he's a solid scorer, and he does also get some international utility, but he doesn't play. But I think if he hits the ground running this year, I think he could be a great player. And then in the midfield, I will be going for Lee Young-jae. He's not. Oh yeah, he didn't play last week, but Lee Young-jae, he's a newcomer from Suwon, I think. Yeah, Suwon FC, and he was playing for like an unconvincing Suwon side. Was still doing really well. So I think, as you can see, he played 3 games, and then on his third game, he scored in a 43 AA game. So I think he will also be a key player for Jeonbuk and a great scorer SO5 wise. And then in the attack, I'll go for Song Min-gyu or Thiago. One of these two is probably a better option. Maybe Thiago. He hasn't been great at the start of the season, I'm pretty sure. But he's a newcomer, but I expect him to start scoring his goals like the way because he came to score goals right from Tejan. He was decent at Tejan. I mean, he was pretty good at Tejan, yeah. And then Sung Min-gyu is also a decent part. But my favorite pickup from here is Hernandez. So he's currently injured, but he is back. He's back, and I think he would the way he played against Pohang in the AFC Championship, on his debut, he was really good. And he only did play 45 minutes because he went out with a muscle injury, but he went into so many chances. And yeah, so I think Hernandez would be the best option. So if I was personally to buy a Chamboksak, it would be Kim Jong-un, Kim Jin-soo, Lee Young-jae, Song Min-gyu, and Hernandez. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you do buy any of these players, please just put them in the comments below. And if you have any other questions, also put them in the comments below. I'll be make sure to answer them. Great. Thank you. Bye bye.